Hi all, this is Lakshmi, working as assistant professor in the Department of ECE at SNS. So today I'm here to discuss about the lecture series on the devices and bus standards. And the topic which I'm going to discuss today is Universal Serial Bus, that is USB, which is a serial communication protocol. So, before discussing about the universal serial bus, which is a serial communication interface, so we need to apply the design thinking concept of empathy. So here, the what we have to actually consider is this type of device. This it should provide easy plug and play connectivity, and the data transfer must be fast and reliable. And one interface should support the both power and the communication. So this is the one which will give us the communication as well as the power. So compatibility across the devices is very important, the factor which we have to consider. And the user expectations like for quick connection and detection, it should be met, and the industry standards demanding the universal compatibility and obtaining the feedback about the cable, which is the cable durability and the transfer speed. And the designers also the emphasis on simplicity and scalability. So how to ensure the seamless communication between the host and the device, how to support multiple device types using the same port, and what are the ways to improve the speed while reducing the complexity and managing the power delivery safely to the connected devices, etc. All these are the empathy part which has to be taken into consideration. So the USB ports on the computers, microcontrollers, and the IoT devices, it should be convenient due to the its universal compatibility. So yeah, we have to be satisfied when plug and play works instantly. And cable damage or connector damage due to the frequent use, version compatibility issues, like we have different versions of this USB. And one parameter here is the length of the cable, which affects the device placement, and the power limitations for high demand peripherals. So these are the certain empathy parameters which has to be taken into the consideration. So now coming to the point USB, which is Universal Serial Bus. So this is a standardized communication interface which is used to connect devices for data transfer and power supply. And it simplifies the connectivity by allowing the multiple peripherals to communicate with the host system through a common interface. So it is fast, bidirectional, low cost, etc. So we can connect a more number of peripherals to a computers and have them automatically configured here and ready to use. So this is all about the USB. So there are different versions here. So first was zero point 0.7, which was released in November 94, zero point 0.8 94, and December 94, zero point 0.9 in 95, zero point 0.99 in 1995, and one which is released in November 95. But nowadays the version which we are using it has become USB 2, USB 3, and the USB Type C. So 2 is the high speed, which is up to 480 Mbps data rate, and the USB 3, 3.1, 3.2, these are all very high speed communication. And USB Type C version is a reversible connector with fast data and power delivery. So how this works? So this is it is mainly based on this host device architecture. So we can call this as host device architecture, and it controls the communication and the data transfer. That is, for example, between the computer microcontroller and this host, and the device is the peripheral. So peripheral which is connected to the host. Example can be a keyboard, a printer, a smartphone, etc. And the hub, we have this expand the number of USB ports. So this is a host device architecture which is based on tree topology. This works based on tree topology. Here the main computer is the host and multiple slaves are there here. So 7 bits of addressing. So we can interface up to 127 devices, and host can only initiate the data transfer in USB protocol, and it is an asynchronous protocol where we don't use clock signal. It is a asynchronous protocol. And talking about the signaling part in USB, so we have these VCC plus 5 volt, data plus and minus, and we have a ground here. So what actually it does is the data D plus and this minus, they carries the data of the same information but with the mirror image. And at the receiver side, we have a differential amplifier. So that would give the difference of these two signal, and that difference will be our output data. This is how the signaling is done in USB. So there are different connector types. So type A, B, USB 3, mini, micro, type C and micro B. These are the different types of connectors in USB. So the key features of this USB is first is we can talk about this the plug and play capability, so which is automatic device detection here. So converts the electrical signal into the digital data and vice versa. So the protocol engine here is the packet processing, and we have, as we have discussed, this follows host device architecture, and it supports both data transfer as well as the power delivery, and hot swapping, that is the devices can be connected or removed without shutting down, and standardized connectors and protocols, and this is a high speed communication protocol. System bus, like the CPU, RAM, ROM, and the USB interface to the system bus is there, and it is it can also support power management as well. So this is the overall mind map for the USB. So it is a standard serial communication protocol which is used for data transfer, connecting the peripherals, and the features are plug and play, hot swapping, high speed, power supply, etc. And its architecture is, it is a host device architecture, and we have different types of versions of USB, and the layers are physical data link and the protocol layer, and the connectors types are type A, B, C, micro, mini, etc. And it is very easy to use. It is universal, fast data transfer, and the only limitation here is the cable length, which is limited, and the power limits. So application connecting the peripherals like keyboard, mouse, printer, pen drive, etc. So this is all about USB. So today's assessment, USB follows which types of communication architecture? Here, as we discussed, this follows host device, which is master-slave architecture. Which of the following USB versions support high data transfer speed compared to USB 2 is USB 3.0. Thank you.